warm welcome to Diski Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things MTN8 quarterfinal as I have a post-match analysis of Stellenbosch versus Kaizer Chiefs, which ended 4-3 in favor of Kaizer Chiefs on penalties. So when you do have a look at it then, the red team will represent Stellenbosch, the blue team will represent Kaizer Chiefs. So after 120 minutes, the game then did end at 1-1, and we did see then penalties being taken. And Kaizer Chiefs then were able to win 4-3 with Khune making two very good penalty saves. So when you do have a look at it then, and we have a look at the personnel with Stellenbosch, in goals then, they did bring in Langeveld, and then at left back, they did start with Bazadine. Left side at centre back, they started with Oshwin Andries. Right side at centre back, they started with De Goede. At right back, they started with Van Rooyen. So key to note then that Stellenbosch did come up into this game with a 4-3-3, playing with a false 9 in Jaden Adams. Also then, what was quite interesting then is that Kaizer Chiefs as well also came into the game with the 4-3-3, with the false 9, but then playing with Kama Piliat. So moving on then right along within the heart of midfield, they had Ntetwa within the heart of midfield as a 6, they had Mkaka, and then they had Nduli as the 2-8s. Off the left-hand side, they did start with Mendieta. Up front, they did start with Jaden Adams as the false 9. Off the right-hand side, they did start with Van Wyk. So when you do have a look at it then, with regards to in possession of the ball, I would say that Stellenbosch were the better side throughout the 120 minutes. I just think that they struggled then to penetrate into the final third and create chances consistently. However, what did Stellenbosch look like in possession of the ball? So when you have a look at the offensive scheme then, with regards to what Stellenbosch were looking to do. So a lot of the times then with this Stellenbosch side, what you did see with regards to the offensive scheme was pretty much a 3-3-4. Let's say ball side fullback had it. So if Fawaz Bazadine had it in that pocket of space within the left wide channel, that is what you would see. At times, you would have one of the midfielders looking to creep in to make it a front 5. So that is the offensive scheme that you saw with Van Rooyen a lot of the times tucking in to become the third centre back to ensure then that they have sufficient numbers behind the ball. So it was then a 3-2-5 offensive scheme, and then with the rest defense of a 3-2 block or 2-3 block, if you want to look at it from that perspective, always ensuring then that they've got 5 players behind the ball. However, when you do look at it then with Stellenbosch and how then they were looking to go about things. So with Stellenbosch then, very similar to Kaizer Chiefs with regards to how they were looking to build up from the back. They were looking to build up deep from the back. They were also looking then to ensure that they could press this Kaizer Chiefs side high up. And as a result of pressing high up, that's how their goal came. So the goal then does come from Jaden Adams being able then to ensure that he presses Ungobo. So he presses Ungobo very well. He wins the ball. And when Jaden Adams does win the ball, he runs with it, he squares for Nduli. Nduli then finishes off very well. So that was a mistake then by Kaizer Chiefs, and that was very good pressing by Stellenbosch as they were looking to press right throughout the game. And also when you have a look at their set pieces, Stellenbosch also looked very, very good and very dangerous from set pieces, especially considering then that they also created chances that saw them then even hitting the post a couple of times, especially in Nduli then. We did see that he was quite a threat within those set pieces, especially from corners then, and ensuring that he'd always be there at the first post, looking to flick on or looking then to direct the ball towards the goal. So that was Stellenbosch with regards to how they went about things in possession of the ball. And then when you look at them then without the ball. So without the ball then, what you did see from Stellenbosch is that they went to pretty much a 4-3-3 block. So that is what you pretty much saw from this Stellenbosch side, a 4-3-3 block. So that is Stellenbosch then. I would say that after the 120 minutes, they were the better side with regards to them having a lot more control of the game and having a bit more ball possession, as I feel that they created enough chances on the day to actually go through and ensure that they could wrap it up within the 90 minutes. But at times, I just felt that they lacked quality then within the final third with regards to finishing off those chances. However, moving on then, right along, let's have a look at Kaizer Chiefs and how they went about things. So when you do have a look at it then, you do have a look at Kaizer Chiefs, very similar then to Stellenbosch with regards to their shape, which is then a 4-3-3. Also then with a false 9 with Kama Billiat up front. Also then when you have a look at it then, I would say that with both sides, they turned possession over a lot of times, because then both sides were also then looking to counter press and also then ensure that they were able then to force the error. And as a result of that, with regards to the two teams being so similar, the approach, the game model, how they were looking to play, and even the goals came about from very, very similar fashion. However, let's have a look at Kaizer Chiefs. So with Kaizer Chiefs, we did see them bring Itumeleng Khune back into goals. At right back, they did start with Solomons. As the right-sided centre-back, they started with Ungobo. As the left-sided centre-back, they did start with Uzita Kwinika. At left-back, they did start with Uhlanti. And then as the 6 for this game, they started with Usitebe, who was playing a lot deeper this time. You then had Matlo, you had Keegan Dolly. Off the right-hand side, then you did then have Dupria. Up front, you had Billiat. Off the left, you had Sikhota. So when you have a look at Kaizer Chiefs then, I would say that a lot of the times they did struggle then in possession of the ball, and their build-up phase wasn't as seamless. And even in possession, they were struggling then to ensure that they could dominate ball possession and they could dominate proceedings, and they couldn't then create clear-cut chances, and they struggled then to penetrate into the final third. However, when you have a look at the offensive scheme with regards to how they were looking to go about things. So very similar then to Stellenbosch with regards to how they were looking to do things. So if Klanti had the ball on the left-hand side, what you would see then is pretty much a front 5. So it would become somewhat of that, where you'd see a 3-2-5 offensive scheme. At times, one of the midfielders then would be dropped in a bit. Then you'd see a 3-3-4. So that's what you pretty much saw. You know, you hardly saw a picture where you had both fullbacks looking to offer the width, you know. And then at times, what you would see then is that you would even see somewhat of a 3-1-6 sort of offensive scheme with regards to then how then they were looking to add numbers within the final third and get that goal. However, when you do have a look at Kaizer Chiefs, like I did mention, they were also looking to press. So what did that look like? So with Kaizer Chiefs then looking to press, it was pretty much a narrow 4-3-3. So that is what they were looking to press like. And as a result of them looking to press, that is how their goal came as well. So it is then Langeveld on the ball. He passes it to Oshwin Andries. Dupre is able to press very well. Andries doesn't play an adequate pass into Langeveld. Dupre then is able then to finish off. Overall then, when you do look at it as how the game progressed with regards to Stellenbosch and Kaizer Chiefs, we did see then that both sides started losing that energy as it is then still early on in the season, and they went then to extra time. And as the game went on then, we started to see less quality in possession with regards to how many turnovers there were from both perspectives, with regards to Stellenbosch and with regards to Kaizer Chiefs, and also considering that they were looking then to counter press. So it did then go to penalties, where then Kaizer Chiefs were able then to win 4-3, where Khune then did make 2 saves, where then he did save a very poor penalty by Van Rooyen and another penalty by Lekuta as well. Overall, when you do have a look at it then, a player that stood out for me from Kaizer Chiefs' perspective was Sifiso Hlanti. I think he had a very, very good performance for Kaizer Chiefs. And also then, when you also look at it, another thing that Kaizer Chiefs struggled with was defending then those set pieces. With Stellenbosch, a player that stood out for me was Mtetwa, and I would say my man of the match. He was absolutely phenomenal as a 6 within the heart of midfield. And when you look at Stellenbosch, then they did also struggle with regards to converting chances and having that quality then within the final third. Overall then, ladies and gentlemen, we do see that Kaizer Chiefs have advanced then to the semi-final of the MTN 8. So when you do have a look at it then, it does end 1-1. Kaizer Chiefs win 4-3 on penalties. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.